is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Boleros, the Sultan of Sando. Gab here with the man, the myth, the legend, the sad prophet himself, Mr. Maui Yap. Obviously, from the tone of our voices and our expressions, you can see how sad we are. Gilas Pilipinas was drubbed and destroyed by Australia 84-60. We're recording this a few minutes after the game. It's hard. Actually, Maui, sabi nga natin, parang nakaka-turn off mag-podcast right after this game. But I think we have to. We kind of shot ourselves. Parang therapy. Parang therapy. And we kind of shot ourselves in the foot. Gumawa tayo podcast for every single Gilas game for this FIBA Asia Cup. So, gawa na rin tayo kahit malungkot tayo. And malungkot nga kami. Okay? Despite what some comments said in our last episode, we don't relish in Gilas struggling or losing. We want Gilas to win. Obviously, tinan mo yung mga mukha namin ni Maui. Malungkot kami na tinambakan ng Gilas. But yeah, that's it for our FIBA Asia Cup. This was our last game. Maui, can we get your initial reactions to the game earlier against Australia? I'm sure you had a lot of thoughts then. I mean, we were chatting about it. So go ahead.
Actually, as Gab mentioned, even though maybe we don't seem like we're critics of the team kasi we want them to succeed. We want them to be able to win as many tournaments as possible. We want them to continue to improve. We want our players to get exposure abroad, to greener pastures. Diba? We've been happy with players getting offers from B-League, KBL, and all the other leagues. It's a bit disheartening, I think, this whole tournament, not just this game. I think this game showed how much far away we are from teams like Australia. A bit, maybe in the past, we were able to hang with the likes of Latvia. We were able to beat them and go up against other titans. We have a lot of room to improve. I think it all boils down sa program natin. Australia showed, despite I think parading their Team C, yung average age nung Australia was I think 24, if I'm not mistaken. They had a player at 17 years old, the brother of Dyson Daniels was even in the team at 19. Xavier Cooks is young. Kahit si Galloway, the one who killed us in the first quarter, is only 22 years old. And I think he only played the seniors team the first time around 2 years ago during one of the windows. I think this is not really a wake-up call, but I think this is an eye-opener for Gilas. My key takeaways is si Kevin Cambao really showed out. And I think it shows that we have to start prioritizing the young guns moving forward. Kasi despite parading a very old team, we still struggle to. I think this was a big struggle, the tournament. That was a good win against Saudi Arabia last game, but overall, I think the tournament was a huge struggle for Gilas. I think many expected us to do better. If we got the win against Chinese Taipei, then maybe we could have advanced if we faced another teams. I think that was how big the game was. That first game was when we lost to Chinese Taipei. Chances are, if we end the group at number 3, we will be facing Australia, which is definitely the juggernaut of Asia right now. And I think Australia just showed overmatched height, speed, shooting, defensive preparation. I think overall Australia did a better job. I loved how they limited Brownlee to only, I think, 5 attempts during the first half, sending doubles, sending traps, forcing him to put the ball to dribble the ball and not get open 3-point shots. I think in other games kasi Brownlee was able to get his rhythm of screens from screens with open threes, and then eventually worked its way to the post. But Australia did a pretty good job. Despite being the seventh ranked team, I think they over-prepared against the Philippines. And it showed, diba? Despite parading a very young lineup, and despite
well scouted tayo, Maui. I think
very well
that's a
scouted.
very good point. Very good point.
Tsaka if you look at the lineup of Australia, these guys are newbies when it comes to seniors basketball, diba? In FIBA. Most of them played maybe in their juniors days, but most of them are new to the team. Maybe only a few players like McVeigh and Cooks are seniors in the team, but we don't even have they don't even have the NBA caliber the NBA players right now, and yet we were blown out. And I think that really shows how big of a gap we are from them, and how important preparation is, because that's where I think we did pretty well also in the past. We had more time. We were not that scouted yet, but much like the team of Coach Chot, when we got scouted already, we started to really struggle, and I think that showed during the previous windows and during this window. Very disheartening to me.
Yeah, definitely, Maui. You summed it up pretty well. I do want to go back to the game, though. We lost this game, I think, in the first quarter. I think Coach Tim Cohn,
Yeah.
we said this. Why did he start with a double big lineup? And why did he stick with it for 7 minutes? And it took 7 minutes and 5 open threes for 5 open made threes for Tim Cohn to finally pull the plug on the Junmar and AJ Edu front court and finally put in Kevin Kiambao. He waited too long. I was like, from the third three pa lang, actually from the second three pa lang, I was like, you gotta take out Junmar. He's being taken advantage of. The spacing on defense is off. We can't get out of the shooters. And this was a movie Tim Cohn has seen before. We Filipino fans have seen this before. Pull up transition threes. New Zealand did that against us. Pick and pop threes. New Zealand, Chinese Taipei did that against us. Getting the switch and then taking advantage of slow-footed Junmar Fajardo. We've seen it. Chinese Taipei and New Zealand, they did this against us. Even Saudi Arabia did this against us. And yet, ang bagal mag-adjust. That was it for me. We dug too much of a hole nung first quarter. Grabe yung shooting. You could point it to hot shooting, but you can also point it to terrible 3-point shooting defense, which has been a theme of this version of Gilas. On the defensive end, I just think Australia was a masterclass. Grabe. They definitely knew that we were trying to get into the paint, Maui.
They knew the tendencies.
Oo. Alam nila na Tim Cohn wants this team to get paint points. To go into the paint, you get touches in the paint, and they had the priority to deny that of Gilas. And we struggled. We struggled to find offense. And add to the fact, because we were playing a double big lineup, we didn't have that many shooters on the floor. It was only when KQ and even si Carl Tamayo, when they entered the game, that we were getting good looks at the basket because we were hitting threes. 15 of our 28 points in the first half came from threes. 3 from Kevin Kiambao, I think 1 from Dwight Ramos, and then 1 from Carl Tamayo. But we couldn't get any offense inside the 3-point line. Junmar was not reinserted in the game. I think that tells you all you need to know about how much Junmar was a liability on defense. And I think at halftime also, Maui, si Carlo Pamintuan, who was in the dugout with Gilas, sabi rin niya, they're not gonna go back to the AJ Edu, Junmar Fajardo front line. Kasi um, masyadong tinitake advantage ng Australia yun. And they never did. Although they did start Japeth, and we'll go to that later. But Gilas tried going small, but Australia was too big. Going small works if you can. Well, they did get some stops. In fairness to the small ball lineup, they were able to get some stops, and they were able to close out on some shooters, and Australia cooled down a bit from 3-point range. Pero lack of shooting on offense, yun talaga eh. Hirap. Walang space on offense. Australia's defense was on point the entire game, from rim protection to perfectly timed traps and double teams. We were just outmatched. Second half, a bit of a spark. I have to give credit to Japeth. Nagpakitang gilas si Japeth, no pun intended. He got the offense going, got that ball rotation, found Scotty Thompson on a backdoor leading to an AJ Edo 3-point play, hit a mid-range jump shot, was attempting a dunk but got blocked. But you love the minutes from Japeth. Well, he did give up 2 threes on the other end. I think one from their point guard, their lefty point guard, and one from Jack White. So you see the problem with having a slow-footed big there. But kudos to Japeth, man. He went out there, he gave some positive minutes, but mostly just the same problem. We do not have enough shooting. We shot more threes, Maui, because that was the only thing. Yeah, surprisingly. But I think that was Australia's game plan. They were giving threes. They were not allowing us to get to our mid-range shots. They were not allowing us to get to the paint. But they were giving us wide open threes. I think AJ Edu had 3 wide open looks in the third quarter. Scotty Thompson had 1. He made 1, and then he had 2. He had 2 others that were short and missed. And clear game plan from Australia. Again, we were well scouted. We tried to get in the paint. Majority of our points from the past 3 games, from the past 4 games, came in the paint. We don't make a lot of threes, and they made it a point that they're gonna give our guys threes, namely AJ Edu, Scotty Thompson, even si Chris Newsom. They were not guarding him from 3-point range. They knew that he was not gonna shoot threes. Si Kevin Cambao was the only one, and si Dwight Ramos was the only one attempting threes. And kudos to Kevin Cambao. Did have some turnovers here and there, some bad handles, bad decisions. But the 3-point shooting, I think it has shown that I think we were proven right, Maui, from our last episode. We need to shoot more threes. We need to shoot more threes. We need more shooters. Yun lang sa akin. Ang hirap. Ang hirap when a team has closed off the paint and our offense mainly revolves around getting into the paint. We can't. We just can't manufacture enough offense that way. We scored 60 points. I think that's as painful as it gets. Go ahead.
Yeah, tsaka just to show you how prepared Australia was. Imagine Brownlee playing 33 minutes, us trying to get him going almost in every possession, yet he only attempted 7 shots. Brownlee's not shy to shoot shots, diba? And I think that shows you how prepared Australia was on the defensive end, really forcing our non-shooters to shoot from the outside. I think nung second quarter, there was a 5-possession stretch where 3 out of 5 of the possessions almost were a shot clock violation. And that just shows you, diba? A team like Australia, number 7 in the world, versus number 30 plus, the Philippines. They don't take anyone lightly, and I think that shows you how a program should be. And they take player development. They take it seriously. They send players of all ages. They send veterans. They send rookies. They mix and match their lineups to make sure that their programs keeps on humming. And I think that's a type of nation, that's a type of basketball program that we have to follow or we can emulate, because it's the end. And as we mentioned, Gilas is one of the oldest teams in this tournament. I think our average age is 30. And it's back to the drawing board right now. If we can't finish top 8 in FIBA Asia with most of our best players, maybe outside only Kai Soto, then how can we expect to compete against the top 30 of the world? In this tournament, only a few of them are here. And for even Japan struggled, diba? That just shows how much improvement these other Asian teams have been showing. I think that we've mentioned this. Teams like Jordan, teams like Lebanon. Lebanon has been consistently placing at the top of the FIBA Asia Cups. Second, I think, in the last tournament. Lebanon defeating Japan, diba? Even without Araki. And I think that just shows you how good the program they've also developed. And it's looking scary, if you ask me. I don't know what's gonna happen 5-10 years from now. I hope that we get to the drawing board and we plan, not just for the next tournament, that we plan maybe for 10 years or 20 years down the road. Baka masayang eh. Diba? They said this could be our golden age because we have Kai Soto, we have Kevin Kiambao, Carl Tamayo, and a lot of our players are getting opportunities to play abroad. That just shows how much talent we also have as a nation.
Just a point on Justin Brownlee, Maui. He looked tired also. We have been saying this. We sound like a broken record. It's not sustainable to keep on relying on Justin Brownlee. Again, he's up there in age. Matanda na si Justin Noypi.
Sinuwerte tayo.
What is he, like 34, 35 or something like that? No. So he's up there in age. And it showed. A lot of his shots were short.
37, bro.
You're
37. It's crazy.
He's 37. A lot of his shots earlier were short. There were some rebounds he wasn't even trying to go after anymore. I think his legs were just really tired, and who can blame him? This is his 5th game in how many days, and he's been carrying such a heavy load for this Gilas team. Again, not sustainable to have someone like Justin Brownlee carry us from game to game. This was what we were trying to solve when we let go of Chot Reyes. The over-reliance on just one import/naturalized player. It's not really sustainable. Just look at Australia. Man, they just, as you said, Maui, this is their team C. They have so many guys that they can put in who can produce at such a high level. And it comes, when their team plays, it comes from everywhere. It can be Jack White, si McVeigh, si Hickey, it can be si Xavier Cooks. Their offense just runs through so many people. Tayo, when it gets tough, our offense runs through one. So, see, that's the difference in philosophy that I think we're hoping that Gilas could change. We can't just rely on just one player. But kudos pa rin to Justin Brownlee. You gave us a moment in the Saudi Arabia game. You gave us a moment that we would remember. But honestly, losing in the quarterfinals, we're better than this. Moving forward, Maui, I think you mentioned it. We hope to get Kai Soto back. But I do want to make this point because this has been the excuse for majority of Gilas fans who are still cheering for this team or pro Tim Cone. He does not have Kai Soto. This is the excuse that people have. We don't have Kai Soto, that's why we're losing. So, sobrang important si Kai. Hintayin nyo yung pagbalik ni Kai, mananalo ulit tayo, and we're gonna run the triangle offense pretty well. Yung revolving around Kai, it's gonna work again. But my point has always been, we have too many talented players. We are too talented of a basketball nation to just rely on Kai Soto. What if Kai gets injured again? What, we're gonna lose again for for that amount of time? We can't always say na yung wala si Kai kaya wala tayong magagawa. Hindi pwedeng ganun yung mindset natin. Maraming magagaling na Pilipino. I've always believed this. We're one of the more talented basketball countries out there. I don't understand our over-reliance on just one player in Kai Soto. Yes, he's a generational talent, but on the other hand, he's not the only talented player that we have. We have so much more to offer on the world stage than just Kai Soto. I think
Very
that's a
good
point
point.
that yung that I have to make because it's become a running excuse na eh. Now, whenever Gilas loses, hey, wala naman si Kai Soto. Kaya okay lang, babawi tayo next time. But we have to look at how to improve even without Kai Soto. Because we, it's not just gonna be Kai Soto all the time. Again, what if he gets injured? It's not gonna be there all the time. Maui, you looking forward? Um, how do you see Gilas? Any improvements yung that you want to make? I think we've mentioned a lot already. So anything more? What's the next tournament ba? Is it the World Cup qualifiers na? Or the Olympic qualifiers? I'm not really sure. Go ahead.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's still the FIBA window. We're still waiting kung what's the next step. Remember, this tournament is just for the rankings. This does not affect our World Cup or Olympic chances for 2028. It's pretty early on. Still 3 years away till the Olympics. But I like your point about Kai Soto. Diba? Put all the we cannot expect one player to shoulder all the load. Remember, teams like I mentioned, Lebanon, without Araki, their best player, without a doubt, they're gonna go to the quarterfinals. They defeated Japan, diba? And Australia. Just look at this Australia team, and I'll tell you, maybe 90% of Filipinos don't really know a lot of people from this lineup, diba? Not one single NBA player, a current NBA player in this Australia team. And if you look at yung main roster nila, you could argue that they could parade the whole lineup filled with NBA players. Diba? So we can't have that excuse. Diba? We have to have a program that's not over-reliant on one person. And it's okay. It's okay if we're a nation like maybe China when they had Yao Ming or Iran when they had a daddy where the talent gap was too big. It's not like that with Kai Soto, diba? We have players like Dwight, who's in the B League. We have a lot of players getting opportunities in the KBL, in the B League. And I think yung showing ni Kevin Kiambao just is a perfect example, diba? That experience, that training abroad, not just in the KBL, but also other parts of the world, has clearly showed that KQ has developed nicely and has developed into a great talent. Diba? Remember, just a few years ago, Kevin Kiambao was playing 4-5 for Gilas. That was the first time that he played. He was basically a passing specialist that could create off the high post for Gilas. That was how he started. And now he's playing the shooting guard position. So we have a lot of potential. We have a lot of players who have been given the opportunity to play abroad. We also have remember, we have a lot of OFWs. So we also have a lot of Phil-Ams, Phil-Foreigners who we can target earlier. But I think the main thing that I've been saying and I've been hoping since we got Tim Cone, which I've been disappointed about, is to increase the pool. Diba? Kasi if this tournament showed something, it's that this team is aging. This team is starting to get really hammered. This team is starting to get fatigued. 2 out of the 12 players injured. Add Kai Soto to the equation. We cannot expect, if we parade the oldest team, we cannot expect injuries not to happen. Diba? Basketball is a sport where when you get older, your tendency to get injured and to recover takes longer. So I think the number one thing that we have to do is increase the pool. If teams like Australia can have players as early as 17, 19 years old in their pool, why can't we do that? Why can't we have them train against the national team? That's how these young players get better, when they play against tougher, older, stronger, faster competition. So I think we've been saying this and we've been hoping. Initially, we thought that maybe Coach Tim was taking his time, but it's been a while. It's been, I think, already almost 2 years. And very little additions to the pool, if I would say. And most of them come from Ginebra, to say the least. So I hope we give opportunity to players like Thirdy, Kiefer, Matthew Wright, Robert Bolick, and try to get the papers right of QMB, Mike Phillips. Ang dami. We have so many options. We have, as you mentioned, Gab, we have the talent. Why not use them? If we don't want to use them as players, we can use them as practice players for the national team to build them up for the future eventually. Because the reality is Brownlee will not be able to play after 5 seasons. He's 37, for God's sake. Si Japet is 39. I think si Junmar is already 36. Newsome and Scotty Thompson are already in their 30s. So we have to open the pool. We don't have to play them, but we have to help them get experience. We have to train them. We have to plan better. I think that's the number one thing that we have to do. The PBA and the SBP are always saying that they're prioritizing Gilas, but come on, man. 1 week before FIBA Asia, there's still the PBA finals. Diba? And you expect Junmar, you expect Oftana, you expect Perez. Si Perez and Oftana were players who played in the finals and both of them were injured. I think that's not a coincidence. So, yeah. Ang hirap talaga.
To be fair naman, Maui, though the Perez and Oftana injuries were kind of accidental freak. Sprained ankles, they're not really an overused thing. So, baka let's give it a pass on that, no? But I do agree, it can't be 1 week preparation. Hindi tayo team, we said this last episode, hindi tayo team USA. Hindi tayo ganun
kagaling. Kahit gusto ni Coach Team maging Tatum si Malonzo.
Oo, hindi tayo ganun kagaling na pwede tayo na 1 week preparation lang. Kahit nga Team USA, hindi nga sila 1 week preparation eh. They prepare way ahead of time now. So, yun, ako, definitely, Maui, we need to get younger. And I think the SEA Games is coming up. So, I think yung Norman Black is handling that. So, hopefully, we see a younger Gilas here. My God, if we still parade an older version of Gilas, I'm gonna lose it. In the SEA Games, really, na FIBA rules, ha? So, wala na yung puro import ng Cambodia. It's not gonna happen. So, it's now FIBA rules. Hopefully, we can bring in some young guns. I do remember way in the 2010s, we sent all college players in the SEA Games. It's still 1 goal. I remember si Kiefer.
Ateneo Plus.
Oh, like si Kiefer, I think had 5 SEA Games goals or something like that because he's been playing in the SEA Games for so long. But yeah, I hope we send a younger team there. I'm gonna go crazy if we still send our PBA guys. We need to develop. We need to develop the next version of Gilas. Sabi mo nga, Maui, ang tanda natin. And it looked the part. It looked the part for these 5 games here in the FIBA Asia Cup. There were moments talaga na alam mong matanda na ang Gilas. Matanda na si Junmar, matanda na si Justin Brownlee, everyone. The guys who could really hang, I guess you could say si Dwight Ramos, KQ, si Carl Tamayo, somewhat, but he kind of struggled in this tournament, to be honest. Si AJ Edu, Scotty.
Next captain eh.
Oh. Diba? So, we need young legs. We need the next generation na. If come the next the next FIBA window and we're still playing si Junmar, si Japet, who's 39, Junmar, who was injured coming into this FIBA Asia Cup, and I think it's been proven he cannot be played for extended minutes in FIBA international basketball. We have to get better. We have to get younger. We have to construct our team better. We need shooters. I think this game against Australia made that apparent. We need shooters. Alam na nila yung triangle offense ni Tim Cone is gonna focus on trying to get to the paint. So they shut off the paint. They made us take threes, but we don't have shooters. We had one. His name was KQ. He was the only one. So, yeah, we need to embrace modern basketball. And this is not the PBA. diba? Where you can get away with not having many shooters on the floor. So look at Australia. Look at New
1 to
Zealand.
5.
Oh,
They
everyone
stretch the
could
floor.
shoot. Even yung Saudi or Arabia, si Also Williams not really a shooter, but he hit a boarding shot. So, yung naka-boarding siya nung sa top of the key. Ala Jolo Manansala. So, yeah, but the point is, FIBA basketball is all about stretching the floor and getting a ton of open shots, open perimeter shots. The 3-point shot is the new weapon of modern basketball, and it's shown here. So we have to adjust. So hopefully yon. Again, I know me and Maui sound frustrated, and we are because we just got beaten by 24 points. Well, thankfully, walang sapakan na nangyari, Maui. So,
I think that would have been the worst if that happened.
I think one of our commenters said Royal Rumble Part 2. Thankfully, hindi naman nangyari. Diba?
My God, if that happened.
If that happened again, sobrang mahihiya na ako. My God. But yeah, any last words, Maui? Before we go and sleep off our sadness?
Don't mistake our passion for hate. I think for Gilas, we're as much as most Filipinos, we just want our team to succeed. Diba? They always, marami nagrereklamo, ang dami ng funding sa basketball, but we were not a top team. But I could argue that we could be a top tier team, and I think that's showed naman. Our potential has been shown as we are one of the few teams that have been able to hang with the top teams and even have beaten Latvia from Asia, di ba? It's not common from teams like in Asia to higher ranked teams from Asia struggle with the top tier teams, but we somehow, even nung time ni Coach Shot, have been able to hang. So I think we have the talent. We have a huge talent pool, and hopefully we do better. I mean, that's naman what we've been saying. I think since we started this podcast and covered Gilas also, we want continuous improvement. We want to be like the Japanese, Kaizen. It's ironic kasi the Japanese were eliminated also earlier in the tournament, but we want Kaizen, continuous improvement for the national team. Because no matter what, we will continue to watch Gilas basketball, no matter what happens, and we will continue to give our opinions so that if many people say what they want to say, most likely they will listen. They will do things. That's kasi the reality here in the Philippines. If people don't speak up, there will be it will be stagnant. There will be no efforts to do better. So hopefully we do better. Again, this does not affect naman our chances to get to the World Cup or the Olympics. It just potentially lowers our rankings. Maybe we get to high 30s, early 40s. But at the end of the day, hopefully we do better when things really matter.
And with that, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for watching us throughout these past 5 episodes that we did about Gilas. You will return to our usual UAAP content. Probably next week we'll take a bit of a break. Magpapahinga muna kami. Si Sam napagod na nga eh. Nawala na He's not here. So hindi namin na-mention na wala si Sam. He's having
Nagkasakit na.
He's having a bit of a migraine now. Ilang days na kami nag-record sa gabi. So we're kind of tired, but we'll resume our UAAP content around next week, siguro Monday. We still have a lot of things lined up. Malapit na ang UAAP season.
Umiinit na.
This is our time to shine, Mr. Maui. This is our time to shine. And with that, thank you all so much for watching. See you. Bye-bye.